Okay, so welcome back to the Gaming X, and today we're taking a look at 60 Parsecs, a space survival simulation with a dark sense of humour. Does this one though do enough to get you to put out that bank card, or should we have maybe just let this one go extinct in a glorious space explosion? Well, hit subscribe, hit like, leave us a comment below with your thoughts, and with that, let's get this started. Okay, so the setup here is about as simplistic as it can be. Your space station is about to explode. Why? Well, this is the atomic space age. The Earth's now been destroyed, and one rogue missile from that attack, it's heading straight for your station. What can you do? Well, you have 60 seconds to grab a crew and as many supplies as you can before, well, boom. That's it, Cold War Paranoia, an unprepared crew, a battle for survival, and it's all led by a useless captain. Well, you might not be useless, but I was. It is simplistic, but I loved it. I grew up on Douglas Adams, you know, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and there's a reference or two in here paying homage to it, but also then I grew up on TV shows like Red Dwarf. That's one of my all-time favourites, so the sci-fi setup here with comedy trimmings, it instantly felt familiar and it's perfect, it's exactly what I want. So gameplay, and it's broken into two sections. First we get the opening 60 seconds. Here you control your character running around the station gathering up supplies. This happens after a 15-second window where you can first of all freely look around, but then the alarm starts going and it's panic mode as you try to grab everything in sight as quickly as possible. Now the first few times you do play this you're gonna make some poor decisions, but you're really here to learn what to do right the next time. What supplies should you grab here, and what do they do? What situations are they going to be useful in? Because this one, it's going to give you some weird scenarios. You know, do you grab communication equipment, food, armor, health kits? You're basically making a quick call on what's most valuable. And in those first few playthroughs, it's very hard to know that without seeing what the game's going to be throwing at you. Even as you do get used to the equipment, I will say it's harder than it sounds. You're only able to carry 4 items at a time to drop into the escape pod, and that 60 seconds really does go quickly. During these moments then, additionally, you'll need to choose what crew members will you kindly save from their deaths. For just 60 seconds of gameplay, I will say it's a ton of fun. I found myself approaching it differently pretty much every time, and no matter how perfectly I thought I had the controls down, I'd still find myself cutting it really close to that 60 seconds and going boom. And yet, I will say I died a few times here. Now after we finish up with the supply rush, we go to a screen-based approach essentially. That's right, there's no more character movement or kind of actions of running around in freak-out mode. Just screens and options, and I gotta say I had a surprising amount of fun with this one. This part of the game can be summed up like this. Each day it provides you with one single question to make a decision. You know, will we land on a planet? Should we investigate a broadcast in space, and so on. Then we can craft new items, we can feed the crew, we can heal them, we can assign them roles occasionally, and once our daily question's done and once we've done all of the things we want to, we can progress to that next day and see how our decisions played out. During my first playthrough I had ultra intelligence, and on day 17 we had a problem with a console. It wanted me to repair it, it sounded simple, so I did just that. I was dead the next day. Having a screen-based system might not sound exciting, but it's the writing that pieces this all together that makes 60 Parsecs a true winner. Yes, if you play long enough you will see repetition, but I gotta say this was considerably more involved than I ever expected and more exciting. My suggestion with this one, short bursts of gameplay and just try and beat that kind of final survival record that you'll be building. When you do eventually approach the 60-day mark, you can also expect some endings here too. It's a nicely built package combining a few small gameplay elements, but really, or at least for me, I came here for the writing. That's what's going to pull this all together and make this survival simulation a hell of a lot of fun. This, it's almost, the best way to put it, it's almost like a text-based adventure done right. Now when it comes to visuals, again, I think it hits all the right marks. It's consistent throughout and matches a nice hand-drawn look to everything taking place. The initial run around the space station is built really well. It can be confusing at times to find things, but understandably so. It's clearly a visual design to add a level of challenge by masking things into the environment and on top of each other. Now when it comes to the main chunk of the game, I would have liked to have seen more, honestly. It's essentially restricted to just like non-animated shots of the crew. It's basically a screensaver. Yes, they change with each day. You know, if you get injured, expect to see bandages. Dead, expect a skeleton. It does enough, but a few little animations in here would have been a real nice touch, especially when you're interacting with them to see if they need food or need any other supplies. When it comes to the story, graphically, we do get a couple of small cutscenes, you know, opening the game, landing on a planet, but the majority here, it is, as I said, done with text. That, to me, it's perfectly fine. It's text. It's very hard to say graphically. It looks amazing or anything, but they've done a good enough job with it that everything in the world makes sense. You've got an area for crafting, you've got an area or a computer for your next question of the day, you've got a star log to give you an update on what's happening on your ship. Overall, as I say, it all works. The graphics, they are really nice looking. The hand-drawn characters especially I do love. I think they've got just so much personality to them. I like what we get, but I would have loved to have seen just a little bit more. Especially, as I said, once we're into our ship making our escape. Okay, so last up audio, not bad at all. A few small sound effects here and there, minimal character sounds, and some music that builds upon the space setting without being intrusive. I think with this part of the game, they did what they could with the still images, with that minimal amount of, you know, cutscenes and gameplay at the very beginning. If anything, more animation probably would have led us to more sound effects and details, but what we have here, it isn't bad at all. It very much matches the cartoon world we've been presented with and gives us enough to kind of build on the environment. Okay, so 60 Parsecs, a pretty quick review for you today because there's not too much to it, in all honesty. What we do get though is a fantastic story of survival where story arc is pretty much non-existent, but fortunately the great writing and the humour, it holds it all together and you want to keep on surviving that one more day. Did I have problems with it? Sure, scenes do repeat once you get, you know, a few hours into the game. Items at the beginning provide very little room to adapt. You know, normally they would only be useful in maybe one or two circumstances that could occur. So at times it felt like luck and it could be frustrating. I wish we could maybe piece things together a little bit more creatively ourselves. But with that, overall, I had a great time here. The price at around $10, in my opinion, is pretty perfect for the package we get. The script is excellent, and I keep on telling you that. You won't be disappointed on that part of this game. And visually, it's just a great one to look at. Yes, there's not much in the way of animation, but it doesn't stop this hand-drawn approach being beautiful to look at. Today I'm giving 60 Parsecs a great 8 out of 10. I had a huge amount of fun with this one. I couldn't put it down. I kept on just coming back for one more shot at survival. I just couldn't resist. I kept on replaying over and over again, and that's one of the biggest compliments I can give the game. If you enjoy sci-fi, a good sense of humour and a decision-based structure, then this one, it might just be the perfect addition to your Switch library, and I give it a strong recommendation today. And that's it, 60 Parsecs. Are you buying this one? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Hit like, hit subscribe for all our future reviews, and with that, we'll see you all on the next Gaming X.